I am Lorenz Acebedo from Tondo, Manila, a financial aid scholar studying psychology at Ateneo de Manila University. I was moved by the story of my Muslim sister Jaya, a member of a minority Muslim ethno-linguistic group in Mindanao, who are confronted with the consequences of land injustices due to colonization and lack of education, as well as gender discrimination against Muslim women that are playing an active role in the society. A Muslim co-delegate also fears for his life as he is stereotyped as a terrorist. I, myself, am outcasted and bullied due to my bisexuality, my gayness, my identity, and being a son of a single parent. My mother cannot divorce my father. Please allow divorce in the Philippines and stop using offensive language against the LGBTQIA plus community. This leads to immense pain. Due to this, I developed bipolar disorder and I am stigmatized. We, the Filipinos, are victims of systemic poverty, forcing most our parents to go abroad to become overseas Filipino workers while we become working students. This erodes our family values and relationships. Our culture also suppresses emotional expression. This leads to risky behaviors. The Philippines has one of the highest rates of HIV transmissions and suicidal ideations in the world. These reveal how we suffer systemic discrimination, othering, and poverty, evils that plague the world, the Filipinos. But we, the youth, also fight back. We accompany a friend with mental health issues. We provide another's educational needs. We raise awareness regarding poverty, gender, and interfaith, among many others. These are our consolations, our small wins, and we are happy to be considered as role models by our peers. Yet, evil persists. We continue to suffer, especially in the hands of the adults who perpetuate systemic injustices. Thus, we appeal to you, Pope Francis, and the Catholic Church in hope for your help in fighting the discrimination against different religious identities, LGBTQIA plus people, women, mental health, and fighting stigmas and discrimination in general. Let us hold the people accountable, both inside and outside the church, to help protect human dignity, the environment, and our collective aim for peace. In these, we the youth are one with you, Pope Francis. Maraming salamat po at kahabagan tayo ng Panginoon. Thank you very much. May God have mercy on us.
Thank you, J-Love. I now invite Alliah Custodio to share the group's discussion.
Hello, Pope Francis. I am Alliah Custodio of the Ateneo de Manila University in the Philippines. On behalf of my peers and mentors, I want to express our deepest gratitude to you for being here with us. However, as grateful as I am, I also come to you with a deep sense of frustration. Young people today find that there is chaos in every direction we point our heads to. There is poverty, there is climate change, there are wars, and innocent people are dying. All are rooted in deep-seated and intersecting inequalities, ultimately fueled by hatred. Undeniably, the church and some of its communities have a history of proliferating this hatred, especially to those who do not share the same beliefs, to those who are different, And this hate is justified by the same text we use to preach love, kindness, and acceptance. It is then time that the schools, the church, and the communities reflect the world as it is now by moving beyond differences, recognizing our shared humanity, and providing a loving space for all. With this, I can only really urge you and the church to be braver in acting and in speaking out against institutions, governments, and personalities that sustain and thrive on hatred. To stop speaking in maybes due to the fear of change. Unfortunately, some of the conditionalities in the church's position are hindering us in creating a more loving future. We want to experience God's unconditional love, but sometimes it is the church that interrupts this experience. In the Philippines, there is a saying, the youth is the hope of a country. If we, as young people, find it difficult to hold on to our hopes and dreams, it then becomes almost unbearable, impossible to be the hope. So, Holy Father, give us something to hope for, and we'll figure out the rest.
Thank you, Erica. Thank you, J-Love. Thank you, Alliah. Holy Father, we invite you to dialogue with these students. Thank you.
Gracias. Muchas gracias.
Thank you very much.
Muchas gracias.
Thank you very much for your contributions. Thank you, truly.
Los tres insistieron sobre la
Well, it's interesting to note that all of you have focused on relations amongst us, so closeness, proximity, so feeling close to one another. Erica talked about closeness between people, not seeing people like numbers or like objects. You have talked about deepening one's identity to feel closer to one another, one's personal identity, one's social identity, and one's global identity. So this question of identity is actually recurring in all your contributions. And there's a very important word that you mentioned, proximity or closeness. You can't find your identity unless you have a relation with others. And that's very clear because relations with others are key to feel close. With no discrimination. So it's a form of closeness that prevents discrimination from happening. One of you has talked about a discrimination policy, very strong and deep-rooted discrimination, which is very common amongst people. This example of your mother that cannot divorce your father, or discrimination due to sexual identity or orientation or gender discrimination. In the modern social notion, women are considered to be second-class citizens, whereas men are actually first-class citizens. Whereas we share a different idea. Women are the best people. They are the smartest people. And many women are great, are very diligent. Erica, you loved it, I believe. So I think this is very, very important. So the greatness of women must not be forgotten. Women are better than men in terms of their insight, in terms of their ability to create communities. I remember once
Estaba hablando con una dirigente política muy importante de Europa.
I was talking to a very important political figure in Europe, a lady, and she was telling me about a very long process that she had embarked upon. She was trying to convince people about something, and I told her, how come this is so difficult? She stayed silent. She made this gesture with her hands, and she meant, well, just like our mothers do, our maternal ability. This is what women have more than men. They are way more efficient than men. And that's important. So the discrimination of women is not good. Many women have brought up their children on their own. Maybe they've been abandoned by their husbands. Well, a widower can hardly go on their own, whereas a woman alone can certainly help grow her family. So this is the greatness of women. And civilizations have always considered women as being second-class citizens or slaves to men. There's a beautiful story on the on a couple that a husband and a wife. The husband would buy gold, would buy jewels, and put them all on. Well, the woman was always ill-treated. The maternal side of women was always undermined. So the question of discrimination with women or with the social standing, the social condition of women is a problem that can be solved with closeness, with proximity. We all have to be close to one another. Then what Alliah said really impressed me. She talked about love. It is not a question of affinities or preferences. The main question is love, the ability to love. And the ability to love helps us grow. And this is actually helping us overcoming our fears. So the fact that you can love can help you overcome your fears. And just to go back to what Erica mentioned about proximity, being close to one another with no discrimination and with great love is key.
La enfermedad del SIDA, ¿no? En esto tenemos que luchar mucho.
J-Love mentioned the HIV rate in the Philippines. We have to fight to make sure that healthcare is helping us in addressing these problems, that there is no exclusion of sick people, that we should treat them and help them. So to sum up, no discrimination whatsoever, and yes to proximity, closeness. And this is what leads us to love. So thank you. Thank you for what you said. And a piece of advice, if I may. Be able to discriminate between true love and false love, and always pick true love. Thank you.